Hello, hello everyone. Hello. How is it going? How is it going? Welcome to another stream. Um, thank you everyone for who is joining me live. Hello, hello. My bad for the echo. Sorry. Yes. So yeah, we are back with another stream. It's a Friday evening. I hope you guys had a good Friday. How's your Friday going? Do let me know in the chat. I had a very lazy Friday. So happy Onam to everybody. Happy Onam. I hope you had a good time with your family if you're staying with your family or your friends. I had a holiday today, and since I was down with my health yesterday, a little bit feverish, day before yesterday. Yesterday I was feeling very tired and kind of slept the entire day today. I was planning to actually do a stream in the morning and start off with one of the series for a full stack, and I couldn't in the sense that I basically slept the entire day. Okay, I had a holiday, and since morning I planned a couple of things. I had some personal work, I had some office work, then I thought I'll do this. I kept on planning, I did nothing. I just kept on having my meals and just sleeping. That's all I did. But yeah, I feel refreshed now. I feel a bit refreshed now, and yeah, I don't have fever, so that's a good thing. And I thought, okay, it's evening, and I'm gonna start the stream. And what do I stream about? So I was thinking of starting with a full stack application, but I didn't want to go through the grind today, honestly. So I thought, what else better than keep continuing to do my DSA series. And today we are not going to do graphs specifically. Sorry. Today we are not going to do graphs specifically. We are going to do in general DSA. And I'm going to use the same platform, AlgoExpert. Can you just give me a dark mode? Okay, so maybe I have to refresh. I'm not quite sure. I'm sorry for flashbanging you, but it doesn't quite sometimes work on this thing. I'm not very sure why. But yeah. So yeah, that's basically it. Do let me know in the chat how your day went. If you guys had a holiday, how it go, or if you guys had an office. I hope you had a good day, productive day at office, and chilling in the evening right now. Yeah, awesome. And is my stream lagging a little bit? Hello. Okay. Sorry, there was someone at the door I had to attend, but yeah, okay, cool. So I think the stream is lagging a little bit because of my internet. The Wi-Fi works fine, honestly. Okay, I guess now we are back. We dropped quite a bit of frames actually, and I hope now things are stable and we are back. Okay. So again, thank you everybody for joining. I hope you're having a good evening, and I hope it's gonna be chilling today. We can sit and chat a little bit, or as I mentioned, you can see me just sweat, trying to grind some stuff in here. I'm just gonna keep working on including my chats on my phone today. Again, with the phone, I feel like I get more distracted, but even with my tabs, I again kind of get distracted, right? So I'm just gonna close that. I'm just gonna remove that out of the way. I'm really sorry for flashbang. I still don't know why the dark mode doesn't work. It's kind of stupid why it doesn't work, honestly. So I have enabled the dark mode. The dark mode is enabled. Still doesn't work, only for this thing. Yeah, but anyways, Okay, cool. I hope my voice and everything is clear. Cool. We shall get started now, I guess. GitHub free here. I think it's called DSA prep. So yeah. Do I have something that okay, so everything is committed and I don't use another machine, so I don't gonna fetch anything in here. One thing I was thinking is just to remove the package in here, because so this is how I'm gonna actually do problems today. So I'm just gonna go through. So I've just yesterday it was grouped by difficulty because I was specifically trying to only graph problems. I do not want to do it. I want to say group by difficulty because yeah, I just want to solve some problems and I don't want to, you know, I kind of want to look at the problem and see if I want to do it, and I want to get up. So I want to look at the name of the problem and come up. Okay, not like okay, I want to do a certain you know, subset of problems or something like that, if that makes sense. So I want to chill a little bit today, honestly. And the phone is actually distracting, so it keeps on switching off. So I'm sorry if anybody gets annoyed looking at the chat I look at on my main screen. Just bear with me, okay? Just bear with me. Sorry for that. So I'm just gonna keep this on. Cool. So where do we start? I guess what we start is, so I can see smallest substring containing. So I think, okay, so this is extra hard as of now. I don't know if it's a good idea to start with extra hard, so why not? Like if I cannot do something, so this is how I'm planning today. Even though it's gonna be chill, I'm gonna try something like very hard. If I cannot solve it, I'm gonna try and do an easy one and get a little bit, you know, dopamine hit. And if I do have a dopamine hit, I'm gonna say, oh, let's go back to a very hard problem. Okay, so this is how I'm gonna, you know, talk about. It's kind of gonna be random. Again, it's gonna be more like, okay, maybe as you can see, I solved a couple of problems before, and of course I solved a lot of problems, almost 150 problems, 140 problems I solved on this platform. But again, yeah, so I'm gonna go back and forth a little bit. I hope that's okay. Good. I hope that's okay. Yeah, the stream is back with good health right now, so hopefully everything is good. Hopefully everything is good. Cool. Let's see. So I kind of want to do this problem: smallest substring containing something, right? Sorry, my bad. I think I was thinking of longest balanced substring, right? The reason behind that is I think I was oh no, I was doing something else yesterday. Okay, never mind. So I actually thought I was looking at this problem yesterday after I logged off, but I didn't. That's fine. Let's do this. Longest balanced substring. Write a function that takes in a string made up of parentheses. The function should return an integer representing the length of the longest balanced substring with regards to parentheses. A string is said to be balanced if it has many. I'm sorry for yawning. I'm still in that mode. But yeah, a string is said to be balanced if it has many opening parentheses, that is closing parentheses, and if no parentheses are unmatched. Okay, so note that a closing parenthesis cannot match a close. Okay, opening one cannot match closing one that comes before, of course. Similarly, a closing cannot. Okay, that's pretty much it. So in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, but this is not matched because it's like, okay, it doesn't have an opening stuff. Sorry. So then you have this. Okay. So we already solved a similar kind of problem, which is, I think, comes under easy stuff, which is like just find if the string is balanced or not. And we generally use so if you usually only have 2 of them, I don't think you need a stack. You can just use an iterator, a counter of its closing and this thing. But in here, I guess we cannot do that, because we gotta keep a track of whether it is longest also, right? We gotta keep a track of its longest also. maybe we can just use variables into it. So let's see. Let's try and see if I can expand this a little bit more. Okay, let's try and see if I can expand this a little bit more. So in here, if I take a different color, in here this would be +1, so another +1. So since it's always positive, I still go ahead. Sorry, my bad. This kind of becomes yeah, I don't think so we can do that. The reason behind that is it's +1, so this was gonna be -1. This is some currently it's gonna be 1, but we already have a, you know. So if none of these actually matched, if I had only opening braces, so it would have just increased, and I would not have captured this, you know, that. Okay, so it's also valid. Yeah, okay. Just so 1 second. Okay, cool. Okay, so now if I look at this problem, if we just go with the stack solution, right? If we just go with the stack solution, what can we do in here? My bad. Okay. Okay, so if I go with the stack solution, I'm gonna say, okay, since we found opening stuff, we enter it. So we found an opening stuff, we enter it. We found a closing thing, so we remove 1. Sorry, and the length is gonna be 2. And the max length was 0, so the max length is gonna be 2. Okay, so now this is this. Okay, and we can keep a current streak. Current streak is basically also 2. So when I get this part, I'm going to also remove it. So current streak is 2. So I'm going to say +2, which is 4. And I'm going to say, okay, so the maximum is 4 as of now, right? Now this is empty. So you have a closing stuff in here. Sorry, there's nothing here, so we can ignore this. And since it's unbalanced now, current streak can be reset to 0, right? And then again, you have an opening thing. So now if I had this thing, it would have done this, so I would have popped this out, and in the current streak I would have said +2, and the current streak would be going on. And even if I had, you know, a couple of opening braces and then a single closing brace, only the problem here is that yeah, so if I would have had like this, it kind of have to reset this thing, because again I found something opening, right? Found an unbalanced pair basically. Found found an unbalanced pair basically. Yeah. So how do I do that? Because in here, when I say, okay, another one, so now you have a closing stuff. So you remove this. So the current streak is already 2. So it kind of becomes 4, which is not something that I want to do. Which is not something that I want to do, right? And I cannot essentially close this out, because there can be this, which means this now then has to become a complete this thing here, right? So I don't think, sorry, my solution is gonna work in here. Okay, so this is probably not gonna work, or it's some kind of an edge case that I have to handle a little bit differently than I usually do. Right. So let's give it some little bit more thought. true. Sorry. So what if I have some sort of a mechanism to know that where my balance is, like where my balancing things are. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's try and do that. This 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 would be the answer, I believe. So let's actually delete all this stuff in here. So close it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. So let's actually check what exactly is going to be the answer. I feel it's going to be 6, right? It's going to have to be 6. It has to be 6. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So now, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. So you have 14 stuff here. And then we're going to simply say that okay. So now I would kind of say, if I have an array of length 15, if I have an array of length 15, okay, just hold on a second. Let me grab my tea. I'll just be back in a second. Okay. Okay, I have to switch off the fan a little bit because now I'm feeling cold. Good. So cheers everyone. Cheers. gonna spill the tea all over my PC. Saved it. So cheers everyone. Cheers. I'm not having coffee because it's already 8:30, and I don't want to have coffee in the night or caffeine in the night. It's gonna cause problems. I have some good biscuits, cookies. Is there an ASMR? I don't know. There is a... Can I watch? There's a little bit, I feel like, yeah, there's something on top of this, my image. It says plus, and it's generally, if I'm not wrong, Spotify? No. So, I'm not quite sure where we are getting this. It's just a very subtle overlay right on top of this thing, right? Right on top of my image. This settings. Hold on a second. Yeah, I think I gotta fix that. It just feels that OBS things are getting a little bit on top of it. So, sorry. Okay, cool. Cool. This was a pain in the ass, right? How do we do this? I guess we gotta go back to an easy target. Get some dopamine hits, right? But let's think it through. So I can keep a cursor here, and I can scan through on the side and say, oh, this guy. So if I look at, let's just look at one of the hints, O of n, O of one space. Okay, so I feel it definitely has to be a single scan, O of one space, which means I kind of don't need a stack in here. What I probably need is yeah. Okay. I mean, one of the easiest solution is that, okay, you create all kind of substrings, you generate all kind of substrings, and you just say, okay, you check if they are, balanced or not. And I believe to check that, you can do an O of n squared solution. Because in here, since you only have opening and closing, you can have a biasing or like a kind of weight for opening bracket and closing bracket. And whenever you have less than 0, it's unbalanced. If you end up with greater than 0, it's unbalanced. And in general, what you want to look at is at the very end you come up with 0. That's all. Come up with 0. That's all. So yeah, that is pretty much it. If we see. So that's an n-square solution, to be honest. And let's see if that actually works, right? So let's look at that first. Longest balanced substring. Longest balanced substring. So I always mess up when I create substrings, but yeah. So how do we generally do that? So I can start from mine, and I can go to here. Really, right? I can start from mine, I can go to here, and then I can say string or substring from class 1 I to J, and that should be it. So let me just copy paste this, because I always mess up the substring part, like from where to where. I can spend some time doing it. Yeah. This looks pretty okay to me, in my opinion. Does it? So let's go back to what was originally the string. So you have this, so you have this, you have this, this. Then you again have, you start from here. Yeah, seems pretty good to me. So this is correct. Okay. So what you have to do here is that well, if I want to go n square, I need an extra space to store the substrings. So I guess let's first do an n cube solution, where in this particular case I just iterate over like this. Int weight is 0. If string.char at k is equal to so let's do that. If this is this, you add 1, else you add -1. If weight is less than 0, you break. And you break out of this loop, so you go for the next one. So this is correct in here. And after this, if weight is equal to 0, this is a balanced thing. So you can simply say max length will be max length, and g minus I would be your length, and max length. So let's initialize this variable. and this would be the solution. This would be an n-cube solution. One of the things we can come down for an n-square solution is when we generate the substrings, we create a list and we actually store the substrings. Illegal start of an exception. So that's one thing that we can do, but then also again we have to iterate over the entire thing, and for each of the words you have to go over them. I mean, it still kind of becomes a quadratic equation if you're doing that. Look at that, all of them passed, but it's not quite a good solution. And this is what is a f of x equals is quadratic. What is the term for? I forgot. Honestly, I forgot. Trino cubic. Okay. So we'll try to calm down a little bit. So as a matter of fact, I know this is gonna be all right. String substring ij substring if substrings. Now we can copy paste the code. I less than substring dot length I plus weight is 0. Today I can't type in general, so I don't think I can type that well. Yeah. So this is a quadratic equation solution, basically. So this is quadratic. I think now we have to try and cut down quadratic, but it also uses extra space of n square. Um, now we have to try and come down to a solution which is maybe O of n with some space. Yeah. So I'm gonna just give it a little bit thought here. Okay. I have a pointer here. This is +1. This is 2. This is 0. 1. So there's no way of saying that this is balanced as of now. Like from 1 to 2 it's balanced, right? Damn it, I was really hungry. Hang on. I had biscuits, yeah. You guys must be thinking, इतना बिस्किट कौन खाता है? Well, I started having tea since I was in 7 or 8 or 10. Sorry, my bad. 10th, I think I started having tea. And I remember my mom used to give me tea, and the main reason I used to get tea was, so I used to have very little black tea then. The main reason was a little bit of relaxing before the boards and all that. But I switched specifically to milk tea because I used to love having it with biscuits. So I would take a cup of tea and finish off a packet of biscuits, and that's all. So if biscuits are not there, I would be having tea, to be honest. So that's a really good memory. So yeah, I'm gonna have one more and then be done. I'll just be back I want to see the stream health. Yeah, now it's good. Now it's good. Oh, it also gives you analytics, which says concurrent viewers 0, chat with 0, 27 views. I got 27 views already. Wow, that's pretty good, I guess. I hope people enjoy what I'm doing here. Oops. A little bit oopsie doopsie. Yeah. So I'll just be back in 2 minutes. I'll quickly get work done. I'll be back. Yeah. Okay, we are back. Cool. Kind of bothers me. Sorry, it kind of bothers me when I see this. A little bit of an overlay on top of my face. Feels so. So if I move it up here, I don't quite see it anymore. But in here, it's definitely there. So I just feel somehow this OBS stuff is getting overlaid on top of this thing, but okay, that's fine. We'll just ignore and we'll keep continuing, brainstorming this particular solution that how we're gonna do. So we already did a cubic solution. We also brought it down to quadratic solution, but at the cost of some space. Space nowadays are cheap, I would say, so people kind of run after time, if possible. Sorry. So now the question is, can I come down to O of n, which is a little bit of cheating to say that, okay, I know I can because I looked up the optimal space-time complexity, right? So also the space is O of 1, but we'll try to keep it O of n or O of n square, and then try and come down and see that if we can, try and balance things out, right? So, So what if we use a stack? What if we do use a stack? Kind of we need to know how we balance things out. With the stack, the only problem was keeping the current track. Correct. That was the only thing that is there. One thing we can do is whenever we hit an opening bracket, we try and balance out to the maximum possible thing that we have. So if I run a loop from this, so I would go here, so I know this is an opening bracket, so I would start running a loop from this till the point I can balance out. So this is this. Stops here. My bad. Stops here. So we scan through every one of them. And we say, okay, the length is 4. So once we keep on okay, so I have a closing bracket, which I don't want to. So yeah, from here to here I balanced out. So the only problem here is that if I do close out the solution in here, this is another opening bracket that I would have, and I cannot. Okay, so that's not gonna work, I feel, or I have to have some kind of an edge case solution saying, oh, this is. I don't know if that's a good solution to work with. Okay, so Okay. Never mind. Okay. So if I go up here, how do I do this problem? So I think we have spent a little bit of time, and let's look at the hints. You can iterate blah blah blah, so we know. A more efficient is to iterate through the string only once, using a stack to track the indices of unmatched opening parentheses. Whenever a closing parenthesis is encountered, you check if the stack has a corresponding opening parenthesis index, and you pop that index on the stack if it does. If the stack does not have a corresponding opening parenthesis index, then the closing is unmatched, and its only index in the input string denotes the start of a new potentially balanced substring. With this approach, you'll have to figure out a way to keep track of how long a balanced substring is. The most efficient way is to use two variables to keep a track of the number of opening and closing parentheses respectively as you traverse. Think about how you would use two pieces of information alone to find out the longest balanced substring. Especially, how do these two pieces of information help you figure out if a string is balanced, and how can you use them to calculate the length of the string? Yeah, like I mentioned, I feel it's more of a two-pointer solution in here. So in here, if I have this another pointer, I can say, okay, this is still another opening. Sorry, so let's do it on the stack, right? 0, 1, then 2 would be coming in here. Sorry. So 2 would be coming in here. How about we do this? So 2 would be coming in here. I make an entry like this. Okay. 3, it's balancing. So 0, 3. Now there's another closing in here, so it doesn't correspond to anything. So we don't want to ignore that. Then there's this, which is this was 4. So it's 5 and 6 basically. So 5 and 6. Then we have two openings, and since we have two openings and then another opening, so you have another opening. So this was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So you basically have 7, 8, 9 in here. So 10 came up, and you can omit this out. Then you will have a 11, 12 came in. So then you will have 13, 14 pair. So once you have this kind of intervals of which balances with what, I can simply say, why don't I do a merge interval? All right. So as an example, this would be merged into 0 to 3. This then would not be merged. And this would be merged into a single thing because it's attaching. So you always consider attaching things as overlapping. So 9 to 14. All right. And the length of this particular part is 4. This particular part is 2. This particular part is 14 minus 9 is 5 plus 1 is 6. So 6 has to be the answer. So here are a couple of things. We iterate once, and we use a stack, so O of n space. And while we iterate, if we find a match, we have to keep pushing things into an array, right? So another O of n solutions if everything is something like this, right? Everything is something like this. Then just a second. So you kind of have to do a binary search to make an insert. So that comes in into, because then this thing, and then while merging you again do an O of n solution, right? So this is kind of what we have to go through. So this is this, which doesn't quite conform with our given details of how it needs to. But if I say open and close, I can say it's 1, 2, and then close becomes 1, which means I can omit one of them out. I can omit one of them out. Then this 2, another close, so it becomes 0. And since it became 0, I can say length is kind of merging with this. Okay. Then another opening and closing, so it becomes now 0. So since you already have this, the current streak has to be reset since it's a closing stuff. So since this is 0, I'm gonna add it to the current streak, which is gonna be 2. Then you have an opening stuff in here. So opening is 1, another 2, this in here 3. So when you come down here, this will be 2. So since it is not 0, we don't add anything to the current streak, and the current streak can be reset, I feel. I don't think we have to reset the current streak because of the fact that you already have like there can be closing stuff in here also, right? So keep the current streak alive. So you always make the current streak as 0 when you have encountered a -1. Sorry. Maybe that is what we have to do in here. Okay, so let's give it a try and see if that works. So yeah, for int I equals 0, I less than string length I plus plus, current streak is 0, int length is max length is 0, int open equals 0, close equals 0. So string.character at I, if it's equal to this, you add 1, else you add -1. Let's do wait for now. If wait is less than 0, simply reset this, and current streak should be equal to 0. Else if wait is greater than 0, that's a problem. I don't quite know if I have to. Okay, so this is not gonna work. This is not the correct logic to work with. So if string.char at I is equal to an opening thing, you can simply say open plus plus. if open equal to closed, open is 0, close is 0. And the other thing that I think I want to do is it balanced out. So I'm gonna have to say current streak plus 2 max length is max current streak and maximum length, else if open is greater than closed, sorry, it has to match one of them, right? So open minus minus, closed minus minus. In here we can say because in here open would be greater, so open would be 3, close would be 1. Sorry, I'm just gonna take 2, but then I gotta add to the streak. That's the problem. Okay, I am gonna switch to some dopamine hits. It's just not doable right now. Maybe I'm missing something very, very dumb, honestly. Kind of thinking I'm missing something very dumb. Cool. Sorry. So maybe I should try some little bit of hard problems first and then think of those kind of problems. Not sure. Yeah. So in here, shortest unique prefixes. Okay, so let's do that. I wonder if I already have a solution in here, because it shows I solved it. So maybe I have a solution. Yeah, I do have a solution. I'm going to look at that. You're given an array of unique strings. Write a function that returns an array containing the shortest unique prefix for each string. Write a function that returns an array containing the shortest unique prefix for each string. For example, AlgoExpert and algorithm, the shortest prefix that uniquely identifies each string is okay, I see. So if there's an overlap, you always return back something which is this. Okay, there is some little bit of static. I hope it's not bothering. If a string str is completely contained, then there is no completely unique prefix for a. Yeah, that is what my question was. Does it shortest prefix becomes entirely itself? For example, given the strings food and foodie, the shortest prefix to uniquely identify each string would be food, foodie. In this example, food's shortest unique prefix must be food, since it's entirely contained in the foodie. Okay, it follows that foodie just cannot have food. It follows that foodie can't just have food as the shortest unique prefix. It has to be food I think. Right. So yeah. So food, foods, foodie without the e. Okay. So since it's prefixes, I'm thinking one of the best solutions would be to use a try. And I want to actually solve this kind of problem. It doesn't quite say so. Yeah, so this is another thing here. So what if there's only one? Oh, you can only have a single character. Makes sense. Okay, makes sense. Can I copy this guy? Well, it doesn't allow me to copy, but I think we can hack the system. There you go. So you have this kind of an input. All right. So let's build a prefix tree. You have foo, that's a very weird F O O. So this is an end. Then you have food, which is an end. You have foods, this is an end. and you have IE, which is in it. So this is wrong actually. Like I should have copied this, but I guess it's okay. Sorry, I guess it's okay. So now, what happens is, sorry, I can insert every one of the words in the try, and then I can iterate over them and say, okay, I start going down from here, and quickly wanna another guy called DSA just interviewed a recent college graduate that didn't know the difference between an array and a linked list. Nor could they explain the difference between space complexity. Would you hire? Maybe he's not a CS grad, honestly. So yeah, kind of depends which background he's coming from. But nowadays, I think it's expected that if you're coming to interview at a certain place for a software engineering job, you probably want to know what is the difference between an array and a linked list. Like that's the bare minimum, I would say. Free trials in clerk billing. Okay, not interested. Been working on a little side project. If anyone wants to join me, DM me and send an invite code. So the new Boston.net. That's kind of new boss. .net. I don't think it's a good idea to actually open up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna quickly So we are not looking into that right now. Ubuntu is using this thing in here, blah blah blah. How do you use Grok, by the way? Like this? I never used Grok. What's a good coding project which showcases real life use of algorithm and fun to implement? Let's see how it does. A game coding project, music streaming platform. I'm thinking more of a smaller scale. Something like a CLI or UI based projects. So what all things it gave? It gives personalized music playlist generator using a clustering algorithm, k-means, okay, and recommendation like collaborative filtering. Okay, it kind of went, it's not okay. Project ideas text-based maze solver. Create a CL that generates random maze, allows the user to navigate manually and watch and extra. Solve it automatically. That is not quite interesting. Yeah, I don't think it gave me good. What is the software equivalent of following a passion for art? I tried to follow my passion for art, but now I'm 32 and unemployed. It's kind of. Sometimes I feel I don't know where the world is going to, because yes, we have to advance as a humanity, but are we really advancing as a humanity? Like, we have to advance, I understand, but it doesn't mean that a bunch of folks, a greater bunch of folks, are just always left behind. I do not feel so. What instead I feel so is that uplifting people is more of an advancement of humanity. It's a win for the humanity, because it's not always technology that wins, battles, is what I feel. Yes, technology helps you win battles, but numbers help you win battles more. So if we are battling against the odds of surviving, if we can save more and more people, if we can uplift more and more people, if you're fighting poverty, these things I feel, should be kind of a benchmark to know that if we are advancing as a humanity. What is that called? Power chips. Civilization rank. It's not possible to card the chef. Scale. Yeah, so it's a method of classifying civilization by the technological advancement and energy use. I honestly feel that this is a bullshit thing. So what does it exactly say? So it has 3 classifications: type 1, type 2, type 3, where what you have done is that as a civilization, what is the energy usage that you have as an entire civilization, as an entire earth, how much of energy you are consuming, and how much of energy you can extract. All right. Of course, the amount of energy that you can extract would also kind of be in a relationship with your, like a one-to-one relationship with your technological advancement, because previously we had pull-up carts, but now we have cars, since we were able to take out crude oil. And it's not just gonna stop there. If you only had the technology to take out crude oil, like pump out crude oil, it's not that. You have to convert it into petrol, you have to convert it into diesel. Someone came up with an engine which says, okay, if you put this into diesel, it kind of runs. And then someone came up with a car and says, okay, I can give you a steering, I can give you a gear, and that's how it runs the car, even if just having an engine doesn't make sense, right? So these kind of things is what, would say that how much of an advanced civilization you are. And type 1 civilization is basically that, sorry, you have your home planet and you can control and extract energy from all the available sources on your planet itself. So example, your water, air, you can use every one of these to actually extract out energy to the fullest. This is what a type 1 civilization is. Type 2 is you're capable of harnessing the energy from the nearest star. So for us it's the sun. So yeah, Dyson sphere is a very interesting topic. Sorry, it's a very interesting topic, and it's basically okay, so I guess, yeah, it doesn't show because this is the exact video that I forgot the name of the channel which does a very good video on this. So basically what a Dyson sphere says is that, okay, you can create an object or a sphere around the sun and engulf it, so that 24/7 it's kind of extracting out energy from the sun rays. So that is one thing. And then type 3 is that, okay, you can basically harness energy from your entire galaxy that you're in. And then there is also have type 4 and type 5, but I think these are extensions. And humanity is not yet a type 1. I think it is like some percentage of type 1, like, as you say, as a type 0 civilization, or potentially in the early stages of becoming type 1. Projections for reaching further in the future. several centuries for humanity to reach type 1. So yeah, me personally, I don't feel that's a good metric to know if humanity has advanced or what kind of civilization we are. I mean, it's one of the metrics, but I feel a more important metric is that, are we as a civilization helping everyone come up? It's not gonna be called a civilization if two people are standing there with a huge amount of money and can, generate all the energy that they want from the sun. Yeah. I cannot pronounce this. I think it's German. Kurzgesagt. But yeah, this is one thing. Yeah, so yes. So this is one thing. I think this is German. It means in a nutshell. Okay. So yeah, it's. So if I just go to the channel. Pronunciation. Why didn't it shout? Okay, okay.
Kurzgesagt.
Kurzgesagt, which basically means in a nutshell. And I feel Kurzgesagt is translation. It's German. I mean, looking at the word, we can obviously kind of say it's German. And Kurzgesagt. Okay. But yeah, this kind of video is quite interesting to me, and you can see exactly what it is. What do alien civilizations look like? The Kardashev scale. Yeah. Whatever. And here comes the truly important choice. It's always has to be a dark one. You can now add one character per function call purely because you think otherwise auto-completion is impossible. What? You can now add one character per function call purely because you think otherwise auto-completion is impossible. What about functional stuff? I like imperative still, but I'm going to read it better because I can read it from top to bottom. Makes sense. It doesn't influence execution time by much. Fine, I'll buy it. In this house, we respect OP. We use Haskell save a character. FA. Did you not save too, buddy? Anyways, not today, old friend. Cool. We jumped around a bit, so we're gonna go back to problem solving. So here's what I'm thinking. So for every one of the words that we have inserted into the try, I'm gonna have to iterate over every one of the word again, and then in here, I'm gonna say that if F has so the problem here is I cannot simply say if has a single branch, because here so you know what, we can keep a counter because F here has been gone multiple times, so it's not just about the branch but it's also about the frequency, so we can keep a counter. Essentially try is a map, right? So you can have branches, and at each of the nodes you can keep a certain value against it. So this basically becomes 4 4 4. So this is also an end, and since it's 4 but since it's an end for foo, I'm gonna say this is it. Yeah, I'm gonna say this is it. For food, you're gonna end up here and all of this, but for foodie specifically, this is this actually foodie. So you would come down here, and at I you would have only 1. So since it's 1, boom, we go out. That's basically it. We go out. So we always go out till the frequency. So I don't need a pointer of whether the it's a terminal node for a word. I feel what we have to do is the count, or we just run out of the word. That's what we have to do. That is what I feel is the solution. Okay, let's see if that works. Shortest unique prefixes. Let's go it up. I want a little bit, maybe this is a better choice of sounds. Yeah. So shortest unique prefixes. I'm constantly getting a feedback on my this thing. I hope the music is not too loud. Sorry for blasting your ears, my bad. Okay. So in here, I'm gonna simply build a try. So private class node, and this can be a static thing in here. So again, it doesn't quite tell me what exactly is the set, the range of characters that is available. So I'm just gonna consider it's so every time I always consider ASCII. Just let's do an UTF-8 today, okay? What just happened, buddy? Okay, I'm back. My peripherals just got the same. But yeah, so private final map, you will have a character and node associated with it, children, and then you will have private frequency, as I mentioned. Well, that is not correct. New hash map. So you know what? I don't want to do. I don't want to do a. I don't want to do that, I feel. So can I do something like I mean, so technically speaking, this is just leak code or whatever, AlgoExpert. We can simply do, what is that called? An aggressive initialization, if I say. But in general, what I would have done is private void add. So if I add a character in here, what I do want to do is if children is null, I would have first initialized. So it's a more lazy initialization stuff. But again, I don't bother in right now, so I'm gonna say new hash map. I cannot do map off because then it would be an immutable map, so I cannot change things. And I'm just gonna have direct access. Okay, so private static class try private final node root. Okay, so let's initialize it here. New node. Okay, public. So you don't need public void add. Don't have to be private also, honestly. But I think because it's in a class, we can still access, right? So yeah, whatever. Let's actually do private and see. Actually, I don't remember these scopings. I've been coding with Java for almost 10 years now, but I don't remember. How about that? How about that, right? Okay, so in here, void add. Let's see, have a string word. So now I'm gonna have simply say, my bad. Character array. Node current is root. Man, my. Okay. Current.children.get ch. If this is null, current.children.get ch is equal to new node. Well, we have to put current equals current.children.get ch. I do that. Okay, cool. Here of absent. Then next thing what we can simply do is current dot frequency plus plus. Look at that. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it, I believe. So we can have some sort of a add all. So what do you expect? Words. Word, add word. Okay, cool. So now private void find unique fix string word. So this is how we're gonna do this. So you have this thing in here, so you iterate over this. For a matter of fact, I know this will be present, so this is this. Okay. If current dot frequency is equal to 1, we break. That's pretty much it, but I do have to, you know, return the string. So string builder SB equals this. We can do a little bit of C stuff in here, honestly. So you pass this in. So let me show you how you can, because for every time it's called, it's going to create a new string builder, right? Instead of that, we can do a C stuff. So in C, you would have done something like, well, not that. How do you do it? A void. So in here, char const char string, and in here you would have passed in the buffer. Alright, this is how we would have done it. So if I'm not wrong, hopefully with the syntax. So this is how we would have done it in C, and this is what I'm going to do it in Java, so that you don't always start creating this thing here. So I don't have to return anything, because this here is the reference. The question is, how do I add stuff? Well, the very simple thing here is that sb.append ch. That's pretty much it, right? So if the frequency is 1, you extract out. Otherwise, you generally fall out of the loop and you extract. Okay. Try. New try. As I mentioned, yes, you can do that. It doesn't complain, so I guess you can do it. So try.add all. So you get the words. Okay. But strings. Okay. Now, string. I have to say word. Strings. Can I just say string, by the way? Yeah, I can. So it's not like C where you have aliases and all that, right? So you can do that. So here what you can simply say is that try.find, so you get the word and you give it this thing. So string builder SB new string builder, and this is string. Okay, let's actually this word. Who said I cannot do that? Words, right? So one of the things that we have to do in here is that so prefixes is new string words.length. Okay, so let's do a, can you just replace with for loop? Yeah, thank you. We did that. And in here I'm gonna replace this. That's pretty much it. And what you have to do is sb.toString basically gives you this. So prefixes of I is gonna be this, the corresponding prefix. And in here we gotta do the clear. So it's not clear, I think it's set length. Yeah, so set length is 0. So it's basically buffer, right? It's like a dynamic array. So you don't technically deallocate, you allocated an array and you just shifted the length, and keep on doing that. So that's pretty fine. We can also kind of so if we would have actually done an iteration here, I could have easily found out what is the maximum length. Again, a little bit of more micro optimizations, I feel. So you could have already initialized the underlying buffer with that kind of capacity already, right? But I don't want to do that now. I'm just gonna say return prefixes. I feel this is it. Let's see. Awesome. Does it pass everything? The dopamine hit. Awesome. The green marks. What else do you fucking need? Let's go. I mean, I already saw it before. I want to see how I saw it before. Okay, so you have a Boolean terminal, you have visited. So why do I need a Boolean terminal? I don't know why I didn't think about that, honestly. And you need a character because okay. So in my opinion, okay, so again, you do this a little bit weird. So in my opinion, my code is a little bit more memory efficient because here I don't store other things not necessary. And here is something that I do where I pass in the reference. Like I said, like C, you would just pass in the reference and constantly use a buffer. This is one interesting theory in that, okay, Java is memory heavy and all of that, but a lot of high frequency trading platforms do use Java behind the scene to power their applications. So how do you think it's much more memory efficient? Because a lot of data comes in and a lot of data processing happens. So one of the things that they do is reusable arrays and things like that. Jenkins, man, it keeps on, my peripherals keep on disconnecting. That's weird. Okay, am I? Yeah, I don't think so. I'm losing frames. I'm dropping frames, but somehow I keep on losing my peripherals. I think I'm not very sure. Oh, my cat is here, is trying to gain my attention a little bit. He just needs food, I guess. There's food there, but yeah, I've given him food, I've given him water. Nota? Okay, so he's gone now. Cool. And I constantly get a crashing sound, and I don't know if that is actually what was happening. I probably have to change my USB hub. But anyways, yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. We can even ask ChatGPT. This is my solution. What's the question? Do you get it? Let's see, first figure out if it gets a question. I have to copy paste the question for it. Okay. Now this code is some amount of time back, not sure when. But my current solution is this. Did my solution improve? Why? Exactly how and what improved? Let's see what it has to say. Let's see what it has to say, right? And also maybe I want a little bit of, revision notes for this. Yeah. Man, just get node by idea. Yes, new solution is definitely improved. Cleaner API and organization. We'll go with that word get, live inside, try, but you call them one by one. You code is add all, clean repeats, tried, and find unique prefix. Reduces a string builder. This reduces boilerplate and makes the flow more readable. Better use of frequency. You track visited at each node if current equals 1 before moving to the child, which could miss the last needed character. New code, you increment only when you enter a node and check if this after appending. The guarantee is correct. This fixes subtle efficiency. Sorry. So this is more like, I would say, a lazy initialization stuff, because Yeah, less branching, more idiomatic Java, avoids redundant lookups and all that. This is where I'm coming to. Memory efficient. Old code, it was storing the character, which I realized I don't need. Then is the terminal, then is visited, then is this. New code, each node only stores map and distinct. Simpler nodes, less memory per word, especially on larger dictionaries. Clean string handling. Building new string builder for each. Man, it keeps on losing the stuff, dude. Like, what is happening? I don't know why my PC keeps on hanging, or something is wrong. Yeah, I dropped a bit of frames there. Something is really wrong today. Anyways, we will power through. Reuse one this thing and reset sets. Avoid object churn. Would you write? No, I want you to give me a revision note for this, like other problems. Cool, right? Bro, give me a revision note, not your mama's love letter. Improvement from I need revision note, not essay. Don't give me good revision. So I remember I see that, you know, your cursor is blinking right now. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but it keeps on dropping. Okay, it's still not back yet. And I just feel it's something related to, because I keep getting a cracking sound in my loop in the headphones, and that is when it snaps. Okay, give me good revision notes when I come back for revision. Blah. Cool. So we have done one more problem, which was already there. So longest most frequent prefix. I think I'm gonna do that next. It's already 15 to 10. I'm just contemplating, should I be having Nonta? He's looking at the other side, and the moment I call him, his ears go like back and like, okay, are you calling me? But I'm not gonna look right now because I'm looking at something. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, maybe after this I'm gonna have, again, this is already done, so I'm just gonna, you know, ignore that part and go to solution 2 and try and solve it again. I feel it's pretty loud for everyone, so I'm just gonna take it down a little bit notch. Okay, so longest most frequent prefix. Write a function that takes in an array of unique strings and returns a prefix that appears most frequently throughout the string. If there are 2 or more such prefixes, your function should return the longest one. So, okay, if there are no such prefixes, your function should return the longest string. Okay, you can assume that there will be only ever one longest prefix or string. Okay, yeah. So for given of this, the most frequent prefix is either algo or foo. Since both appear in 2 strings, algo is longer, so algo is the desired answer. So what if there is algo and food and foodie? What do you respond back? Algorithm, food, foodie. What are you expecting? I'm still expecting algo. Why? Why are you expecting alco and not? Okay, that's kind of weird. You can assume that there'll be only one longest prefix strings. Okay. 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 So you have AlgoExpert algorithm front end. So I want to do this actually. Oh my god. Still yawning. Awesome. So algo algo expert. And there is food and foodie. So since we're talking about frequency, I believe we need frequencies here. So this is 2, 2, 2, 2. Here we come back to 1. So I feel this is where we can break. But here's one thing. So since we are not in that, but let's just do that. But in here, what if I do algo experts? This is algo experts. So technically speaking, algo experts should be the answer. So it gives me algo because the length is 3. So if anywhere there's a frequency drop, we take that as the longest thing in here. What do you say, boys? What do you say? Oh, I quickly got to order something. For dinner, I got to order eggs, which I completely forgot. So just give me a second. I'm gonna order eggs right away. But I just wrote dinner. Sorry. So eggs, how many eggs are gonna give me? 10? Yeah, so give me 10 eggs. Cool. Okay, so the moment I hear a cracking sound, this goes away, and I don't know what exactly is happening. I feel it has to be this thing because my mouse and keyboard are attached to this USB. And I feel like I need to replace it. Yeah, I need to replace the USB, I feel. Yeah, it's giving a lot of cracking sound. I don't know if it's good for my... Yeah. But my mouse is not working now. So... Yeah, I'll replace. Maybe I should have just ordered a USB hub from Smart also, as my mouse is switched off. But it keeps on constantly giving me a cracking sound. So something is off with my USB extension, I feel. Which means I need to get a new one. Yeah, get a new one. Hold. Okay. So let's go back to the problem. So when Swiggy comes, I'm going to take a quick break and then see exactly how long we're going to continue. And what I'm planning to do so is, again, since it's a holiday, I'm going to plan to restart the stream after my dinner. So I'm going to have dinner, and then if I have energy left, I'm feeling energetic today because I slept quite a bit. From almost 3 o'clock I slept till 8 o'clock in the night. Not 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock I think. So 7 o'clock in the night, and then almost 8 o'clock I started with the stream. So I'm planning to have a break, have food, and then come back. And at that regular stream, I'm probably gonna do something full stack, not do DSA stuff anymore, because I'm kind of bored right now, honestly. So I'm gonna do some different kind of thing. Let's see if I find anything interesting to stream. I'll stream, otherwise I'll just do, study on my own. So when there is a drop in the frequency, we can quickly say, buddy, break. So we have to do a DFS in every single branch. We don't need to look at the frequency also. We can always look at the part where you branch out. Well, we don't have to keep the frequency because algo frequency is 2 or 3 and foo frequency is this thing, right? So yeah, we do have to keep the frequency also. So let's do what is called longest most frequent prefix. Longest most frequent prefix. Private static last node and private final map character node children. So we can call it children, and in frequency initialize the same new hash map. Private static private final node root no string word and words add the word node parent is root, and in here for character ch in word to carry current.compute current.children not compute if absent. That's gonna be the key, and then it is a function which will return back new node. What is wrong here? Like this? Yeah. But can I not just ignore it? I write it here, okay. So just, I guess with this you cannot ignore it. Okay, it's fine. Current.children.getch. Current frequency plus plus. Abo. Let's go. Maybe I don't need to add on. in here because I am planning to find out the longest this thing. So I have to iterate it manually, right? For let's call it words. So for string word in words. Come on, Swiggy, I don't want to go down. Okay, so here's the right location, thank God. Because after 10 o'clock I have to go down and get my stuff. I really don't want to do that. Pata nahi kya hai security and all that. I mean, slowly I kind of understand why that is required. I mean, I'm still annoyed, but yeah. Okay, so new try. Okay. So try dot add the word int max length is 0. String longest word is this. If word dot length is greater than max length, simply say max length is word dot length. This is not a costly operation, so of one operation, so we don't care. Longest word is equal to word. Now sorry, I'm feeling we can just give it to the try and say, okay, give me the longest frequent prefix. Can I do that? Is that a good idea? From an object-oriented perspective, is it a good idea? Just thinking about that. Tell me, is that a good idea? I don't think so. The reason behind that is, very specifically speaking, again, we can talk about object-oriented and all of that, but from an implementation perspective, one of the things that I'm thinking of returning back from that particular section is your node, because I need to have a track of where exactly I stopped, right? Where exactly I stopped, and that will have a frequency, so I can return back the node, so it will have the frequency, but I kind of need to also have a pointer of where I stopped, because I need to take out the prefix, right? I need to take out the prefix. So the problem here is a little bit more than I was thinking. Okay, the problem here is a little bit more than I was thinking. Okay, so see, I also need to know a way that, okay, it doesn't have a prefix. Nothing has a common prefix is what I also need to know. So as an example, in here, just let's call it Balgard. C AlgoExpert D. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick 5 minutes break. There's someone at the door, and I think my food has, my just ordered eggs and that has arrived, so I'll just be back. Yeah.
just come. We must never stop the way. Birds jumping and I hear my name, grasping into life. Life is happy but it's so insane. We must merely make a start. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a walk. Savannah, light is gonna come. The birds have just begun. We will always take a stand for the people, for the land. Let's go back to when we were young. For the animals we stand. Let's go back to when trees were swung. Kids across the land. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a walk. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a walk.
Okay, my definitely there's something wrong with my USB syncing here. So again, kharcha. I have to spend. I have to spend a little bit to get a new one. So subscribe, because I need money. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Subscribe if you feel the content is really helpful to you. Join if you really feel the content is really great and you have a good time. That's all. Or you learn something. That's all. Yeah. Let's go. So the question here is, do I do it for every word? I don't see why not, because we already do kind of an O of n into O of k. So n is the number of words and k is like an average length of each word, if I say. So we already do that, so I don't see why we cannot do this. Fine. No, sorry, my bad. We were discussing that there's a problem here because I need to kind of also return back what is the frequency, and for doing that I need to have another wrapper, because I cannot have two return types in Java unlike Go. So that kind of sucks. And that is something NCS lo-fi. Wait a second, there's something called study lo-fi. Yeah, I don't know if these are gonna bring in copyright or not, honestly, I don't know. So I'm just gonna do this. Nanta, come, Nanta, come. Cat is running around in circles right now, jumping all around. Okay, cool. So I guess we have to do that within the try to save a little bit of space. So private string find longest prefix, longest common prefix. So here's the thing now. Where is my scaling? So I have to iterate down every one of the branches that I see. I do iterate down, and then I see that, okay, can I क्यों चिल्ला रहा है? खाना दिया हुआ है, सब दिया हुआ है, क्यों चिल्ला रहा है? Why are you shouting? Okay, so now what I have to do here is, okay, let's go back to the diagram. I have to explore each one of the branch, and whenever the count is 1, right before that I have to return. Right before that I have to return back. So let's say private void dfs. So I need the current node, and I also need a buffer, string builder sb. Yeah, int frequency and string prefix. These things are to hold your data. Sorry, these things are to hold your data, right? So in here, it's kind of sad, like the bigger problem here is that if there's no prefix, that's the most important part. I feel this is not going to get solved because I have to calm down one step. And exactly how do I know that there is no prefix? You know how I know? First find if no common prefix at all. So root.children. So this is a map dot values dot string dot filter. So this is basically the node dot frequency. Sorry, let's call it a node dot frequency greater than 1. Dot count, something like that. In count max frequency at root. It's complaining because it needs a long. Okay. So if this is equal to 0, because we already filter out with this greater than 1, return no common prefix at all. So let's do that. Okay, true has common prefix. Let's first make this case work. Okay, so try dot find longest common prefix string prefix. If prefix is empty, third longest word. Well, return the prefix. Return the prefix. So let's see first that this edge case is working fine for us, and that is when we can go about. So for this particular expression, it should be awesome. So this works, but if I quickly say this is this, well, it should work, and now it should be an empty string, so we will not be getting the correct answer because we are looking for algo. Cool. Now what do we do? So in here we need to somehow start iterating on top of the current node, right? So of course I don't want to append a null. How do we do that? How do we do that? So in here, what I'm gonna do is node in current dot root dot children. I'm gonna say do a DFS. See, always go with the nodes. Okay. Sorry. We also kind of need the character, isn't it? So map entry of character and node entry set. So in here we're gonna say entry dot get value. So let's actually have this thing in here. So this right here is the node. Character ch is entry.getKey. Ch this thing, and then you will be having a builder string builder sp new string builder. We can actually give it a, well, we don't have it, so otherwise I could have just passed in the max length because that's the largest that you can go, right? So anyways, I'll just let it resize, the buffer resize for now. I hope I'm not on mute. Yeah, I'm not on mute. I can see that. Sometimes I forget to unmute myself, and yeah, I keep talking to myself. Even though I'm talking to myself right now, I'm just a lonely talker. Okay, so you give this, you need to also give in the frequency. Why? Max frequency. This is the max frequency, and string word. So sorry. One in here. So this is 0, and this is word. So instead of this is word, this should be prefix ref. That's a great word. Okay, so now that you have this, what do we want to do? We want to first say sp dot append ch. We do that. If current dot frequency is 1, this is where we break, I feel. This is where we break. Sorry, return. Right? But before that, okay, but here's the thing, we already appended this shit right here, so we don't want to append it here. So if this is not there, this is when we say let's we append ch. We append this guy, but here's the thing, before we do a return, if we need to know the previous frequency also. Dude. If previous frequency is greater than max frequency, now simply have to say max frequency is previous frequency, and then your prefix this thing is sp.toString 0. Else if previous frequency is equal to max frequency, prefix of this thing would be equal to how do we do that? sp.toString, and then this thing is equal to max frequency. Prefix of this thing would be equal to how do we do that? Sp.toString, and then this thing is equal to max frequency. Prefix of this thing would be equal to Let's just call it s. S dot length is greater than, well, prefix 0 dot length if s dot length is greater than prefix reference 0 dot length, we do that. We do that. Next, what do we do? I feel this is not correct. I feel so. This feels so that this is not correct. Because we never kind of say that, you know, yeah, I feel this is not correct. This is not correct. So we have to rethink a little bit. I'm just making it overcomplicated for no reason. So let's just give it a thought here. So I start iterating over every one of the single nodes. And I say, what is the frequency? If the frequency is greater than whatever the maximum frequency is as of now, that is a potential common prefix. We're gonna do that. Again, so I just hear a crackling sound and boom, the peripherals just go haywire. Come on, dude, like, okay, so I guess tomorrow, okay, yeah. So I quickly want to take a sneak peek at how the heck did I do it before. Look at that. Look at that. So if parent dot frequency is greater than parent dot frequency, from parent dot frequency. Otherwise, we simply are going to say sb dot append ch and then do a DFS for each and every single. For map dot entry character node int character ch is entry dot. Look at that guy, he just put, okay, node is entry dot get value. Then you do a DFS, so your parent is current, your current becomes the node, I don't know how to call this. I'm just gonna call this. So SB and speech. And once you're done iterating for every one of them, sb.delete something, delete character at sb length -1. So we don't do that after recursion, so I don't believe we have to do that. Max frequency is 0. To a DFS in frequency. So max frequency is max frequency and the frequency. And in here, just gonna return a max frequency. So in here, the parent is gonna be root. This is gonna be the node itself. This is gonna be SB, and then this is gonna be CH here int frequency. Int max frequency is 0, and string word equals. Look at that. Oh, my cat is just playing with himself is a very wrong word to use here, but okay. So if frequency is greater than max frequency, you can say max frequency is the frequency itself, and then word can be equal to sb of toString. Else if frequency is equal to max frequency and sb.length is greater than word.length, and instead of word we can call it prefix. Prefix should be equal to sb.toString. And once we are done, we gonna have to clear it, set new length to 0, set length to 0. And here we can say prefix. And here, you can simply say yeah, pretty much it. Where is this thing? That's wrong. That's absolutely wrong. Why is that? Where's my code in here? So you get a frequency. If the frequency is greater than the max frequency, you say the max frequency is this. If it's equal, you don't do a bother. Same. So this thing is here. Okay. So I'm just trying to understand why on earth would it say so this is not this is count. So where's my, so in here this thing is getting hit for some reason. System dot out dot println. So if I do something like that, this I guess is getting hit. Is that what is happening? Yes, but why? But the question is why? Because so this is just count. Why is the count 0? root.children.values.stream, we always filter out any node with a frequency greater than 1. And in here, technically, this should have been 1. Okay. Root children dot values dot for each. So we can simply do system out println. Well, that's gonna log all the children because it's not a record. Awesome. So how do we do that? Well, we can have just a string method. String format. So for a node, the main thing is the frequency. Frequency is this, and then the frequency. We always go for the node, so I think we also have to. We have to do the character. We don't have to do the character, I feel. So I think we can also add the character. Private in character. This will just give us a little bit more debug information. Character ch equals ch. We're gonna write this. So where on earth we say new node? So you say new node here. So let's just give it another character. Doesn't really matter. In here, I'm just gonna say C. I don't see anywhere else we do this. Well, it's character ch. And it's char. Cannot override toString method. Override. What is the issue here? Do I have to make it public? Not quite sure what's the issue here. Why can't I override this? Okay. Frequency 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Why is every frequency 0? Minor Frida. Why is every frequency 0? We do this. Wait a second. No, we add all. Yeah. What the heck is going on right now? What the heck is going on? So let's say private cat ch. Cat ch. This dot ch equals ch. To string. So string format. Character is I think it's, I'm not quite sure. We'll see. Ch and frequency. So why don't we do this here is my question. Why did I forget that? Character is this and this is this. Let's run the code. Yeah. A is 0. Everything is 0. I'm not sure why everything is 0. Okay, so something should break in here where I just create the new nodes. This can be no. No. Why is it? It can be this. Yeah, that's fine. That is totally fine. So where do I log this thing? So this sync AlgoExperts when it should have been algo. So my only problem here is, why is the frequency not increasing? Because we do say current or frequency, and A has to be 2. The first A has to be 2. And it's not. That is quite bothering to me. So current we started this thing. So we say, okay, go over the words. You say that, okay, if you have children absent, man, just a dumb thing, dude. Wow. Yeah, I guess so let's remove this. So this is not valid anymore, and this here is new node. So I think I have to do the import still. So let's just do program and then let's run it. Okay. How small bugs really bothers you? And like, it's a very subtle, stupid bug. And I guess everybody makes those kind of mistakes every now and then. Okay, cool. Time for give me solution notes for this solution. Let's see what it is. Which one do I do next? Man. Give me revision notes for every time I ask. So actually, this chat probably has more context and it does the app. Cool. Let's try and solve a couple of more before we actually go for dinner, and we come back in the night. Okay, we'll definitely come back in the night. Okay, so this is done. What else looks promising? Multi-string search. So as far as I know, my searching is not that great, and I have to put in some more time in searching because I am not aware of KMP algorithms, and there is Robin Karp algorithms and things like that. So I don't feel I'm gonna do it. So currently what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go with category, and I'm just gonna try and solve all the red ones. Okay. So yeah, multi-string search is under try, so that should be a more approachable problem in my opinion. Suffix try construction. Yeah. Okay. So write a function that takes in a big string and an array of small strings, all of which are smaller in length than the big string. The function should return an array of booleans where each boolean represents whether the small string at that index is contained in the big string. You can't use language built-in string matching methods. I mean, it just probably contains and all of that, and that should be a more simple solution. But in here, one of the things we can do is we can build up the, I think KMP has something called prefix tree or something, prefix table or something like that. I forgot what's the name of those, so maybe we can learn KMP. Again, I don't know, I'm pretty lazy at learning stuff. But let's see, if I have the ebook, I'm gonna learn. GitHub React ebooks. Why didn't it take me just to ebooks? Yeah, so if I look at algo, so maybe algorithm, this thing has it. Not quite sure. Okay. If I just download this guy in here, and do I have new PDF? Yeah, I do have new PDF. So here I'm gonna say, does it have a invert colors? So so downloads algorithm. Okay, so this is again a flashbang, and I could probably do an invert. Disable documents directly. Yeah. So greedy algorithms, dynamic linear, NP complete. So what I want to know is, do you have string matching? So how do I search in this piece of shit? I cannot probably match here. So I'm sorry, I have to flashbang it for just a second. What is the full form of KMP? I don't remember, but it doesn't have, it seems. Okay. So algorithm Sedgwick. Yeah, buddy, I have a lot of ebooks. Okay. Do you have KMP? Wait a second. Okay, 726. So, what was the number? Oh my god, it actually has Vim stuff in here. Okay, so KMP. This is exactly where we want. Okay. So algorithm was discovered by kind of my prior and the Ruby director with blah blah blah, and you create something called a prefix reveal and all of that, right? So maybe we can actually learn this algorithm and solve something. Not quite sure. Not quite sure. Maybe there's a better this thing. But yeah, whatever. Since it's under try, so that is why I don't want to do via category. I want to, give it via category, because immediately my mind says, okay, can we try? That's all, right? So that is not a good thing to do, in my opinion, because it kind of gives a biasing towards that certain thing in here, right? So I don't feel that's a good thing. Okay. So now what you have to do is I feel the KMP algorithm searching is KMP algorithm time complexity is O plus N. So, which has to be then multiplied by the number of strings that you have, and but here's the thing, there's something called bigger, which is not there, of course. So maybe we can create a try out of all the prefixes. But I don't know if that's really a good idea. You create a try out of all the prefixes, which basically means of n squared solution you have. And then once you have, so is it a quadratic equation? Number of smaller strings, and S is the length of the longest small string, B is the length of the big string. So instead of putting all the small strings in the try, is what I was thinking, just put the big string in the try and you create a prefix tree. And once you have a prefix tree, right? So as an example, you have a prefix tree of this. So T would be 1, so TH would be 1, THIS would be 1, THI something would be 1. So similarly, you would have, that is not kind of correct again, right? So my bad, you would have all the suffixes. So T, you would have 1, then you would have something like HIS, then you would have something like IS. So if you have similar things like that, so you always kind of, what to say, yeah, so if you do this, if you have yo, right, so as an example, if you have this, then at certain point you would say, oh, it starts with is. So that is what it is. So one thing I quickly want to see is, man, it again broke. What a stupid stuff this is. I'm just pretty angry right now. Man, every day is a new struggle in the stream, honestly, I feel. Okay, every day is a new struggle in the stream. Okay, so what I do want to quickly do is that here in my quick test, I want to add something called BI, and I want to do something called IG. Maybe I don't need, okay, it's gonna go away, so I'm not gonna do that. Okay, so IG is true. IG is nowhere else because BI. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna do that. Multi-string search. Multi-string search. So private static class node private final map of character, and then we have a node, so it's children. Do we need anything else? I don't think we need anything else for this. So new hash map, private static class try. So you have a root node, and then in here private so it's not even a try, it's basically a try also, right? It's the same thing. So anyways, call it a suffix tree or whatever it is. I'm not going to the technical thing. This thing is basically a try, and it does what it's supposed to do, and it helps us get the solution. So I'm just gonna call it try. So private void and you have a string word, and then character ch word dot character, node current is root, current dot compute, current dot children dot compute if absent. This is ch node, and current equal to current dot children get ch. That's basically it. That's basically it, and we don't need to say if it ends or not. Well, I need new node. Okay, so we actually can copy over the function, which is this. Let's say in here. So try, new try, and then in here I equals 0, I less than. So you always go to the end, right? So what I'm going to do in here is int from, and end is always going to be the same thing, right? So instead of that, int I equals from I less than word dot length I plus plus, and the character ch is basically word dot character at I. I'm out of that. Okay, so as far as I know, it's big string dot length and I plus plus. So try dot add the big string itself. So we don't copy over the string, so we can always work with ranges, and big string dot length, and we can extract it out in here. And it didn't like something. I don't quite know why. Okay, so it doesn't like because I've never passed with that. I just always do that. Okay, that's pretty cool. And I can always do that. Is that not? Because it's gonna go till -1. No. Yeah, this is correct. This is correct. This is correct. Okay, cool. So now, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna write something called find. So let's say private boolean is present, string word. So node current is root for character ch word to character array. I'm gonna say current equals current dot get current children dot get ch. If current is null, so we can do that. If current dot children dot get ch, sorry, I think it's called contains key. Yeah, return false. Otherwise you do that, and then you return true. List of boolean is word present is new array list, and we know for a fact that it's gonna be this. So yeah, for string word in small strings, I'm just gonna say try dot is present the word, and is word present dot add, let's say, is word present. So I feel that is what we have to do. That's what we have to do, I feel. Let's see. Well, I think no. Awesome. Let's quickly run the test and see if that runs. Come on. Give me revision notes. Nonta. Okay, can you give me the revision notes? Okay, build a suffix tree. Okay, again, like I said, I later on realized it probably is called a suffix tree, but I don't care what it's called. I'm not a academic guy. I would love to be, but I'm not. I'm not actually. I'm not. So anyways, I think it's pretty cool to do research and stuff, and come up with new things and stuff. Just grinding deep code, and it pays, but I feel there's no fun. If somebody feels there's fun in that, it's fine. Except money, there's no fun in that, honestly. So that's what my opinion is. Okay, so for each server check, yeah, so cool. I think I can just go ahead and take that now. This feels pretty good to me. Can we do one more? So Boggleboard, why does it say that Acha, because I moved everything, right? Okay, so that's cool. That's cool. So can we do one more? Suffix tree construction. I feel we can do the suffix tree strings made up of strings. That is kind of another extra hard problem. And I don't know if I want to start it now because it's already 11 o'clock. So what I want to do is I want to go for dinner. Yeah, I want to go for a break and then come back again. Like break in the sense I want to stop the stream and then I want to come back again to actually work on a project. And I'm not gonna work on the project, but I'm gonna sorry, I'm gonna work on something which is one of the pieces in the project. Okay, or maybe not. I'm not sure if I still have energy after this. Maybe I should just try string of strings. Let's do that. Write a function that takes in a non-empty string of array unique array as well as another non-empty array of unique strings substrings. The function should return an array of all the strings in strings where it takes a non-empty array of unique strings as well as another non-empty array of unique strings. So there are two non-empty strings and substrings. The function should return an array of all the strings in the strings that can be formed by concatenating one or more strings in the substring. The strings and substrings won't be necessarily smaller than those in the strings. For example, the string AB could be concatenated in substrings using the word with the string A contained in strings. A substring can be used multiple times to make up a string. For example, substring foo can be used twice to make up the string foo. I'm not getting this. So you have a bunch of strings and then you have a bunch of substrings. So you can make a bar. You can make it in different ways. You can do bar, you can do bar. There's ARE, so you cannot do ARE, but then there is foo. So can you make a foo? No. Can you do bar? Yes, you can do bar. Can you do B? Yes, you can do B. And can you do barely? No, you cannot do. Cool. So there is bar alcohol, AlgoExpert, not alcohol, sorry, front-end expert. So you can do front-end expert, you can do AlgoExpert, you can also do bar because you can generally, Okay. So you have a bunch of substrings given to you and you have to figure out that, making combinations of different substrings that you have, can you actually generate one of the strings that you're already having? Oh. Well, one of the things I feel what you can try and do is find out if you have those words in a try. So if I put those substrings in a try, and then if I go over bar, so B, I see, do you have B at the root? Yes, we have B at the root. Then you go and see there is A. Then you go and see this is R. But we cannot stop right there. I feel we have to kind of do a dynamic programming in here also, because BA can only be, so maybe you just have BA as a word, which says okay, there's BA, so you again go to R, so R is not at the top level, so that particular path of where you just split at BA is not possible. But you can also try and split from, so I feel it's more like a problem where if you can split up the strings. So yeah, so it's gonna be a dynamic problem, but then you're iterating over all the strings again. So I basically feel maybe it's better that you use try. Maybe something we try to gain in time complexity if we actually do it with try. Is my stream down again? Oh, I can look at OBS, I guess. OBS looks fine, but this thing is looking fine. Is it? Where's the stream health? Yeah, it says good. Okay. Cool. So, what do we actually do? I feel that's basically the solution. So if I actually do a dynamic programming on split, it kind of becomes that, okay, at every possible character, you try and do a split and see if it actually works. You can of course do certain things like, okay, but the problem here is that you have to keep on generating words, and I feel that try is gonna be a little bit better there, because there I'm gonna say, okay, do you start with that? If you don't start with that, I'm not gonna break. So instead of trying to, what is the LeetCode problem? LeetCode string partition possible problem, something like that. Partition string, is that what we are looking at? Okay, just so I have never even saw it. Can partition string. Minimum numbers of way to split. Can split a string to beautiful strings. Beautiful. I don't quite remember what's the problem. Not code smarter with AI mode. So why does everything has to be with code? Get vulnerability refactoring. Not interested. Did I solve this? No, I didn't solve this. Okay. So anyone on the chat remembers which problem I'm talking about? Maybe if I just go to the problem list and if I say, I can hear you. Okay. So I was just thinking, yeah, okay. So this is what I want to do. I want to take a break and yeah, I'm gonna take a break. I am going to have dinner, and once I have dinner, I'm gonna. Oh, okay. Wait. This computer program thing. Okay, so it is always like this. Okay. Anyways, so I want to take a quick break, and I'm gonna stop the stream here. I've already been streaming for 3 hours now, and we solved quite a bit of problem. So we solved almost 4 problems. I think in 3 hours, 4 problems, and these are hard problems. So like, I don't know, 45 minutes. How long it has been? People say it's 45 minutes that you can solve hard problems in. So if I say 4, 180 minutes, which is 3 hours. Wow. Well, I think people say you have to solve it in 30 minutes in an interview. So again, this is not an interview preparation, so I don't care how much time. I don't time myself, and I don't always think of like you have to do the best thing and all that. But I think that is also an important thing to do. Okay, but coming back to the point, so yeah, we did quite some good things. So I'm just gonna quickly do this, some more stuffs. So if anybody is interested, I am pushing all of my code here in this particular this thing. So DSA repo is here. Well, I'm just gonna call it DSA prep. So I'll call it prep because, you know, I also put in some, you know, a revision notes. The main point of a revision note is that if tomorrow you are actually preparing for an interview, you can just go ahead and look at the notes and everything, and that should give you a little bit of ease, where you can just quickly see what's happening, what's not happening, and that's basically it. But anyways, coming back to the point, I'm gonna stop the stream. And maybe later on I come back. It completely depends on my mood, and it completely depends on whether I still have energy left in me. So I'm gonna have dinner now. I'm just gonna go and spend some time with family, and then I'm gonna be back. Okay. But before I go, since I know you're watching, since you texted me that you're watching, one quick thing here. Okay, just be back. Hello. So maybe I can do this thing in here where I just say face. My bad. Sorry, I didn't actually add the mic to this thing, so that's why you couldn't hear me. So what I was saying is, I'm just actually showing, like I just brought Nonta on stream for you to see, and I was talking, and I was asking you that can you see? I brought him on chat, this thing for you, and yeah. So you can actually text on the chat also, or on WhatsApp, whatever. I don't know. Can you hear me? I think you should be able to hear me now. I was not audible, but I think you should be able to hear me. Hello, 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 hello. He's already irritated. He wants to go. Can you not hear me now? Hello? You should be able to hear me now. You should be able to hear me. हेलो। गुस्से में एकदम थप्पड़ वप्पड़ मार रहा है वो। I think you should be able to hear me now. Just can you confirm? Still cannot hear you. I don't know why. Not quite sure why you cannot hear me. Here it shows my audio is working fine. Not sure. Okay, can you hear me now? This gotta do it. This gotta do it. You should be able to hear me now. Yeah, I should be able to hear me now. You should be able to hear me now because I made the little bit changes. I don't know why you were not able to hear me before. On my stream it shows you should be. But anyways. Hello. Yes, there's a lot of बाल. उसका शक्ल देखो. उसकी शक्ल तो देखो. Hey, it's okay. Say hello. Someone is watching you. Say hello. Again, you can say something on the chat. You don't have to text me because I have to constantly unlock my phone and see. But anyways, okay, chalo. I think I'm just gonna, let him go now. He's already very, very irritated. मुझे पकड़ के रखा है. ऐसे करूँगा तो देख दूसरे हाथ से वो constantly says छोड़ना. So if I hold it this way, the other hand he just like auto. ठीक है. Anyways, you're gonna see him tomorrow. Soon. Bye bye. Good night. Okay. Yeah. So. Man, this thing is all over me now because of he's shedding a lot. He's actually shedding a lot. I don't know why. Sure. I think we're good now. I'm just gonna go back to this kind of thing here. Enable my desktop. We are back. I hope this is not this thing. One of the things I can do here is that I can just remove this and I can probably duplicate this and call it face, right, and push it here. So in here I don't have the desktop. I can delete stuff and then I can simply say okay, this is a video capture. So you have 12, I need to go 6. Yep. So I think this is fine, right? I think you can still hear me. Yes, can you confirm if you can still hear me? Yeah. Chalo, I'm gonna go now. Thank you everyone for who joined in. Thank you everyone for who tuned in. And yeah. So again, it completely depends on my energy and how I feel after I have my lunch. So after an hour or so, if I feel that I'm gonna stream again, and I'm gonna do something pretty light and not do DSA, because I'm planning to do a research on next upcoming series that I am planning to do. So I'm planning to do that where I actually work on let's say, so it's a full stack application. Probably it's going to be microservices. I still haven't yet figured out if I want to explore microservices right away, or I just want to do a very simple, full stack application with React Spring Boot on the backend. Again, I'm going to use Spring Boot. I can use Python, I can use Golang or something like that, but I'm more comfortable with Spring Boot, so it's going to take a little less effort doing, like, learning a new framework and all of that. So I'm going to just use that. That is one thing that I want to make sure. And the second thing is you have so basically I'm gonna do some little research there in the night, and if I have the mood and the energy to talk, I'm just gonna stream it. Okay, I'm just gonna stream it. So that's that. Saying that, thank you everyone for who tuned in. Thank you, it was a good one. We did quite a good amount of problem solving, and see you soon, hopefully tomorrow or in the night if I come back again. Okay, so thank you, and happy Onam back to everyone. Happy Onam. Hope you're having a good Friday night. Hope you will have a great weekend. Thank you. Bye bye.